What is up, guys, and welcome to another episode of my HLTV Fantasy. Today we have EPL playoffs. So ESL Pro League Season 14 has reached the playoff stage after all the four groups have completed. And I mean, just before I started recording this, I was watching the game between Furia and Liquid that basically determined whether Furia or NIP are going to go through, and it ended up being NIP. So they are gonna play Mouse in a couple days. But yeah, I was kind of eyeing the players and their prices. They all look pretty low. The prices, like I think we can get some pretty good teams together with these prices. So kind of excited to see what kind of squad I'll go with for this. Yeah, let's get into it. Of course, as always, we'll have to take a look at this entire bracket and see which teams we expect will do the best, and which will most likely reach the playoffs, or I mean the finals. Of course, all the teams have reached the playoffs. Sorry, I'm again like recording at past 1 a.m. local time. I just saw this come up, and I know I'm kind of busy tomorrow, so didn't know if I would have time to record tomorrow. So we're doing it now. Obvious candidates: Navi, ranked number 1 in the world. They went 5-0. They go 5-0, or did they go 4-1? Wait a second. Wait, I can just check here. They went 4-1. Okay, only Heroic and OG went 5-0. But still, convincing. Perfecto was super good for them in this event so far. And yeah, Navi definitely a candidate. The problem with picking Navi is always going to be the fact that Simple is, although it's so insane as a player, he's also always going to be very expensive. But that's why it's maybe good to look at a player like Perfecto, whose stats for last month are so much better. And this last month is basically just the playoff stage. I mean the group stage of this event. We also like Boomage, I think did pretty well. Yeah, I mean it's easier to get good stats when you're winning, of course. Bit didn't have the greatest event, I don't remember wrong. Yeah, some worse maps. Other players, I mean other teams to consider: Gambit, always a threat, especially online. We'll have to see how well they do on LAN, but oh man, it's always so difficult to pick them because if you go Gambit, I think almost always you want to go for Inters as one of the players, just because of like role wise, he fits so well. He has some good boosters that others don't utilize that well, and he can frag at times, of course, as well. Like he's a good support player, definitely. Nafany, a very decent player, but then if you really wanna get the stats up, you would have to kind of pick between these three, and they're always going to be expensive. So you have to consider that as well. I guess let's just go into the bracket and check. I don't think Force or Ends are gonna make it past the quarters. Like one of them is gonna obviously make it to the quarters, but I think Navi always beats one of these teams. It's gonna be harder between Liquid and Fnatic. Very difficult to say how good like Fnatic is right now, but Liquid looked pretty convincing to me. I think Liquid looked very good in this stage. Like they didn't have an easy group. They beat Gambit in no wait. No. It was NIP who beat Gambit, of course. But I think they still had a pretty tight game. So yeah, I think Liquid is also worth considering. Elige is really good. Grim looked pretty decent for this event, right? Yep, Grim definitely putting up some good stats. Naf as well, I believe. Yeah. I don't know if Elige was even one of their like main stats guys for this one. Not really, right? He's just always really consistently decent. Fallen also, I believe, was a bit better than usual. Well, not really, but okay. OG, worth considering, my favorite team. Mouse Sports and NIP are tough opposition, but I do believe that OG should make it through this round. It's going to be tougher against like a Gambit or probably Vitality. Complexity have just not looked that great. They went what 3-2, yeah, in their group. I'm probably not picking Complexity, at least as a main team here. Probably not at all, to be honest. Who are some like budget options then? We have Crimson Alex from Fnatic. He's like, that's not the worst shout for budget if you're not going Liquid. But I think I am going Liquid possibly. So I mean, Messi is an insane player. You have to remember this as well. Like, the guy is really good. Look at this last 3 months rating, 1.22. Just the problem is that they're playing Liquid first round, and Liquid have looked good again, and Fnatic is a very new team, so I don't expect them to do that well this event. Force is kind of this wild horse always, I feel. Like, they can do very well, but then in the end, I don't count them as like one of the top teams. Complexity are obviously also playing with a stand-in, so that's gonna hamper them a bit. I am probably not. I think all the teams from OG and up are worth considering for this. All of these teams could win it. Even Heroic. I was actually looking at Refresh's stats. I completely forgot about this before, but I was looking at Heroic stats, and look at this by Refresh in the last event. 1.23 rating is completely ridiculous for a player who is cheap. So I kind of don't see a world where I don't pick Refresh. It's just such an insane stats for him in this. A lot of Navi and a lot of CIS picking early, I guess. But I think Refresh has to be a pick, and then the question becomes, who would I like alongside him if I pick another Heroic member? Stan. Oh wow, okay. I mean, I always knew Stan is a really good player. Don't get me wrong. Tess is also a very good player. It's probably between Stan and like Tess, maybe even Shush if I want to go for the budget. But I would assume Stan makes the most sense if you want to go based on recent results. I think that's pretty smart. It's a similar environment against teams that are maybe a bit higher in caliber, but I do think Heroic are super good in this kind of environment, and they are a very solid pick for this. I think that's my top player team. I mean, getting these guys for under 400 grand is way too good to pass up, probably. I have a hard time not picking them here. So then, on this other side, do I just go Gambit, the other quote-unquote online team? That would be Inters every time. Then it's between Hobbit, Exile, and Shiro. I usually like going for like Exile out of those if I had to pick. But maybe you need the AWP hero. And then the question becomes like, who do we have as options with LNZ here? There's look at the options. You can even get like a Shocks. get a Grim or Fallen, although it doesn't really make sense with Liquid playing Heroic in Heroic's first game if Liquid win. Alexi B is a decent shout. You can put support on him, and he did fine in this last event at least. But I think the best course of action is usually gonna be picking from, like, if I go Gambit, then I would like to pick from Mouse Sports or Nip, or Force from Ends. So probably Mouse Sports or Nip are the best teams which I should be picking, and then it would probably mean LNZ being my last guy on the team. I think that looks pretty decent, but the problem with this is that with players being cheap, you have to get, like, it's the amount of points you can get is probably going to be even higher. Like, most teams that use all your budget are going to look really good for you because the players are on average better. I'll keep that one in mind, and I'll kind of explore some other options. If I want to go OG, I'm probably going Mantu. He was looking so good off the break. I'll close some of these. Pretty sure I'm going with those two. They looked really good in this in the groups, but the problem with him is that he's so inconsistent. I feel like he'll have a really good event, and he'll have some struggles, then a really good event, or a really good couple of events, and then struggles again. But maybe he's now, after the summer break, found some kind of form again. It would be awesome to see, because I remember when he first joined the team and did some ridiculous stuff. Flames, decent. Valde, a player who always was one of the more expensive guys on the team, but hasn't really had the best stats back that up. What about Nico then? Very, yeah, what you should expect from Nico. What if you go Mantu and then 2 players from another team? Can you go Intersnafny? You cannot go Intersnafny. But also you wouldn't want to go Intersnafny. Probably would like to go Flames as the second guy if possible. Kyojin, P. Crims, Alex, Jakinyu. Oh, Jakinyu is not a bad shout, honestly. Yeah, I mean, oh no, wait, you can't really pick them if you go Heroic. But I don't think Jakinyu is a bad shout. He had some struggles, but he also had some good, like, he had really inconsistent results, but if he happens to have good results on the day, could be a great budget option. I completely forgot to check, like, these guys' stats for the previous stage. 0, pretty much what you would expect. We have Exile and Hobbit. Exile was a bit worse, I remember this. And Hobbit was a bit better, probably, yeah. For the event so far. And Hobbit is the cheapest guy out of these. If you go Inter's Hobbit, we have now 194 grand, and the question becomes, can we pick up an AWPer? Because we don't have one yet. And we can pick up some AWPers like Acor. Acor, a good... Acor just kind of fits here. The problem is I don't like Acor that much. I feel like he is super inconsistent. Yeah, he had a bad event as well. That can't be correct. Feels better like on paper it looks kind of good, but I don't think it makes sense. And I don't want to not pick an op. This already has the problem of kind of too many. We have support, obviously. Then you can go like multi-kill or something like that. One of these guys, IGL. One of them, maybe CT rating on stun. That'd likely be the best. So that's why Shiro maybe makes more sense than Hobbit, even though Hobbit had a slightly better event. Nafani had like a decent event. If you go Nafani, well, you can get. Wait, how much do you have? 214. I mean, device as an opera also kind of a cool option. I mean, he is one of the best players in the world. He's just not had the most awesome like stats for an IP so far. Yeah, it's still good stats. Don't get me wrong, but it's not quite what you expect out of device, maybe. This also leaves a bit too much in the bank, probably. I don't think that's what you want to be doing. I think it's probably Shiro Inters and then LNZ. Works very well with the players being from different parts of the bracket. It's gonna be Heroic playing here and hopefully here. Then we have what do we have? We have Gambit playing here, hopefully here, and NIP playing here, hopefully here, hopefully here. Damn, I really want to get this one right. I've had so many bad results in fantasies so far. I do feel good about the last fantasy I did, the one I did earlier today, this one. All series. I am carefully optimistic. Then again, I'm always kind of optimistic about these. I wouldn't it doesn't make sense not to be optimistic about this. Is this the team I'm going with? I think it is. I'm just putting my faith in the online teams for the online event. Oh man, I really hope Gambit do even better. Like Gambit was, I'm talking about Gambit as if they had a bad event or something. Obviously, they had a really good event. Don't get me wrong. Still going 4-1 is impressive. But and even in the LAN event that they played, they were impressive. It's just that the expectations. Sorry, had to yawn there. Yeah, the expectations have to be set quite high. I think this is the team though. Just makes so much sense role wise. We have main op, we have support, then probably CT rating. It's 97% of match. I'll check some of the others. Multi-fragger actually is better, 95, 97%. So slightly higher like potential. Makes maybe even more sense. Maybe not that good, or not as good, 94%. If you don't like, so I'm basically comparing, I'm just adding up the percentages. I don't want to do any more complex math about how likely they are. Because I don't think it matters that much, honestly. But yeah, unless a role fits refresh really well, good enough to take away that role from her. Yeah. They already have support. I would just go IGL. Fresh. Hope Heroic win the entire event, of course. And then LNZ. Oh, wow, that's bad from him. Okay, headshot machine actually pretty good for him. Yeah, 55.8 is still pretty good, right? Headshot is one of my favorite boosters. I feel like it's underrated as a booster. I mean, as a role. But yeah, very good there actually. Like it's better than Stan's multifragger. It was better than, I don't know. It's very, IGL is such a different one. It's very difficult. It's not better than main op. Not better than board either, but very good still. Yeah, I guess we can add one booster for mouse sports. Bottom scorecard is gonna definitely be him, but we're hopefully gonna have to play that at this stage against Gambit. What do we have like best ones? Wow, he actually has a higher clutch percentage than Hero does. That is very impressive. I mean, yeah. I was kind of thinking like Shiro clutch guy. Wait, is clutch even? Did they remove the clutch roll? There was a roll, right? About clutch. No, here it is. Wow. Very low. I really thought clutch would be better for him, but okay. I remember when he made those incredible clutches a couple of times. Let's check this. Yeah, Rambo doesn't matter. Ace kinda doesn't matter. Probably refresh, I guess. Bait. Refresh. Just kind of looking around as well, or just in general, so I have some idea. Good flash assists for LNZ. A lot better than Inters, for example. KST versus Kobe, I believe, is going to be Inters' thing. Saver, Shiro, makes sense. Assists, Stan, okay. Headshots, aimbot here. So what I like to do is to look at their first opponent in mouse sports and also the players on his team. I don't think there's any big headshot guys on his team. So who does play on mouse sports? I don't think Dexter. So who could have like high headshot percentage? Decent, but not like super good. Same, a bit lower even. Pretty good, but I think probably you are going aimbot on LNZ here. Just makes a good amount of sense with headshot machine roll as well. So maybe as well if an IP, for example, lose the game, he still gets all his kills as headshots, and then both the roll and booster hopefully trigger. I don't think there's much else to this episode. I hope I'll do better. I can, I guess, show you how this ended for me. Yeah, good. Top 71%, 0 points. Not happy. What are you gonna do? Sometimes, I mean, look, you have to accept the fact that you can't always predict who's gonna win and who's gonna do well, but that's part of the game. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoy my content. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you and goodbye.